Hello. How goes it? Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Freaking, it's sunny and beautiful. No real complaints. Need to make some more money for some weed. But besides that, I'm doing phenomenal, dude. And I saved my last bowl so I could smoke this morning, so I'm not sober. Freaking I don't know, I just don't know what to do. Like, it's weird, like, around this time, I'd be heading towards slabs. And, like, I freaking... I don't know if I want to go there this year. So now I don't know. Now I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do for Halloween. I don't know where to go for the winter. Last year, I just spent a good chunk of it just hanging out on the beach in San Diego / LA area. And ended up going up north hella early. Like, I was heading up towards northern Washington and all that shit by like beginning of freaking March. Or yeah, I was heading north in March, and then MJ passed. And ended up going to yeah, that's true, Joyce. But like the big thing when it comes to that is like I have no vehicle. So like to get to slabs and back, like I either have to hitch it, catch a ride there, both of which aren't or I get there but then I have no real way back. Or finally, I freaking have to save up the cash for a Greyhound both there and back and set it aside. Like get a Greyhound from San Diego straight to El Centro, jump off there and catch the city bus into Slabs, hang out for a little bit, and then if it's shitty, take the money that I have saved and jump back on the bus and go back out to the coast. Which is what I did last year for around Christmas. But that's the main issue. It was like I went there last year and it didn't feel like home. I just spent half my time sitting at camp playing fucking video games because it didn't feel like it was worth going anywhere. How much is the bus to El Centro? I'm still here, by the way. Don't leave. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's fluctuating between like 25 to 35 bucks. If I got it today to go out to El Centro on Monday, it would be 26 bucks. And it fluctuates. It's like 25, 26, 30. Sometimes as high as 40, depending on the time of the season. And like that's the big thing is like that's like between 50 to 80 bucks I have to set aside just to get there and back. And as you know, I'm not a rich person, so that's like multiple days of freaking, maybe even multiple weeks of doing my day labor to freaking save up cash to get there and back. And then yeah, like if it turns out to be bunk like it was last year, I would just be riding back. And so like that's my big issue right now. It's like I'd love to go out there, but like if it turns out lame, like I don't want to feel stuck either, you know. And a lot of my buddies that like I hang out with in Slabs don't want to go to Slabs this year. Like Dan, Floyd, he's not showing back up. Freaking Frodo, he doesn't want to show back up. Like, well, what I can do is if I can't make it out through this month, I could Walmart get at least a bus ticket there and some side cash. I'd appreciate that, Joyce, but like, that'd be cool. But like, that's the big thing is like, it's not even necessarily that though. It's just like, I don't feel motivated to go there, you know? Like I said, like half of my good friends that are usually going there won't be there this year. Freaking, they have no interest in dealing with the slab drama anymore, especially after the handlebar burned down. Like a lot of them, like that was their safe haven. Like Frodo, that was his home. Like that's where he lived. Like he lived at the handlebar. He'd go to other places, but his trailer and freaking little van setup was there at the handlebar. He lost a bunch of stuff too. Like a lot of people did. A lot of people had so much stuff that like that was their home where they had stuff stored there, and now it's all gone. And it's just like I could freaking go. Hey everybody, thanks for joining the stream. Don't forget to throw that like button a like. But yeah, like I could go there, but like it'd be the same thing. Like just like them, it'd be like I'd feel like I'm just wandering around. Like part of me wants to go to for Halloween to do the whole pirate slash memorial thing. But then after that, like, I really don't know. Yeah, right. Skate park rebuilt, arsonist dealt with. Yeah. We've actually been talking about, like, offhand being, like, maybe, like, set up, like, some sort of GoFundMe. And, get people through my channel and the internet to throw cash at it. To try to save up cash to freaking buy lumber and plywood and whatnot and build a structure of sorts. You can build a small one at first just to have like a shade area. And then I could probably borrow like an impact driver or whatever from multiple different people. I could get it done, but it'd be a lot of work. And like a lot of people don't want the handlebar back. A lot of the locals didn't like the handlebar being there, didn't like people living on this at the skate park. And like supposedly that's what happened. It was one of the locals snuck up and burned it down. It wasn't even an accident from sticks. A lot of people suspect arson. And like the activity, not the person. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, freaking, you could build a thing and set it back up. I could do it in a couple days to a week. But then I'd have to deal with everybody and their mom and shit. And then when I leave, I'd have to leave it with somebody and be like duty bound to it. And like, I wouldn't want to feel like that. It'd be pretty much like getting the GoFundMe money, setting up the thing, and then just like washing my hands of it and be like, okay, there's a structure again. Cool. You know, like, and that seems like way too much effort to put into something that's not my own personal camp, you know? And you also got to take into effect that thing got built over in like multiple years. Like, it took a lot of effort from a lot of people, multiple rebuilds to get the thing halfway decent. Not to mention, like, we have no furniture again, like, a good chunk of that, like, places, like, a good chunk of the handlebar's charm was all the cool couches and shit that we had, like, posted up. So if anybody got too drunk or just didn't feel like walking back to camp, totally crash out one of the couches for the night. It's like, now that's not a thing, so it's just like, I don't know, it'd be a lot of work. Like, it'd be really worth, in my opinion, it'd almost be worth the investment, showing love to people and getting it back out there. But like I said, for all I know, freaking leave for the next season and it gets taken over by a wingnut / gets burned down. So I don't want to try to rebuild there, and then some angry local who's already fucking angry about the freaking skate park being there last time comes over and starts trying to cause me issues, because I would just walk away. Like, nope, not worth my time. Oh yeah, no, for sure, Joyce. It would definitely work. It would work if it was done right, for sure. It just sucks that, like, there's so much angsty negativity towards it. Like, there's no reason for that. Like, Slabs is a beautiful place that has plenty of room for everybody, and the fact that some people feel like they need to control, like, certain areas like the skate park. For the longest time, people would show up to the skate park and try to tell people that they can't be there and run them off and shit. Just dumb. Clean up, reinforcement, construction, security, yeah. Hi, Keisha. Yeah, but you know, it is what it is, you know, like, skate park was around and did a lot of cool and like showed a lot of love for a lot of people. And like a big part of it was the soup kitchen that they had there. They fed tons of people, and like Dark Side's kind of stepped up. Oh, you went when it was already burnt? Yeah. It was a beautiful place. Like the big thing was like it was the vibe. We had hangout days, freaking we had Rocky Horror Picture Show on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, whatever it was. Yeah, Wednesday and Tuesday night tacos. We had freaking. It was just a chill place to be, you know. Like, if you were like, we consistently tried to keep whoever was there. We tried to always try to keep some beers and dollar beers and dollar dabs. So even if you were super broke and wanted to get stoned, you could scrape up 4 quarters or whatever and freaking walk over there, and they'd hook you up with a dab. Like. That was my freaking saving grace multiple days, like multiple times over. Like that, and it was something to do. It gave me a reason to freaking get out of camp. I feel that, Keisha. But like real to real, like sadly, because I'm a cisgendered white male, I don't get very good treatment over at Flamingo. It's like they've never been outright like hateful to me, but like I can tell that like I'm not, they don't feel like I belong there, that I'm not welcome because I'm not part of the LGBTQ community. I'm just somebody who like isn't against it. Like I wouldn't call myself an ally, but like I'm definitely not LGBTQ, and like they told me that like you don't belong there and stuff, and it kind of really sucks because I have a lot of friends that go to freaking that go there, that live at Flamingo, and it like sucks that like I don't feel welcome. Like my friend Jasmine, aka Julie Winters, Jasmine Winters. She's got a blissful summer. She's got a billion different names on face crack and goes by tons of different stuff. But like, I love going out there and hanging out with her, like hanging out with freaking a couple of kids over there. But the rest of the crew over there makes me feel like what are you doing here, cisgendered? Like make all these like offhand obscure comments, and like it's like, dude, like that's not inclusive. Like I don't want to deal with that. Like, and it sucks. Like, you know, like it'd be nice to like I said, it'd be nice if they were cooler, but like I'm a cisgendered white guy, straight cisgendered white guy, even. Ooh. That makes me public enemy number one, sadly, which is ridiculous and sexist in itself, which I'm not even going to try to get into. Combating sexism with sexism. Remember, it's not sexism or racism if you're being hateful towards cisgendered, straight, white males. Then it's just fighting the patriarchy. And it's like, dude, I don't even fucking, I'm like, that sucks that like that's the whole mentality nowadays. Oh yeah, dude, I love the hot springs. It's one of the reasons I go out there. It's like it's about probably around 50% of the reason I go there is for the hot springs. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like the only place I felt chill, like I was welcome, was the handlebar. Like it was the place that you felt welcome, and now I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel welcome anywhere. Like it's kind of lame. Like don't get it twisted. Slabs used to be my go-to. It was my home. It's where I went every winter. I'd be tired of it by the time spring, summer came around. But by the end of the season, by the end of winter, by the end of fall, beginning of winter, like I was craving getting back to Slabs. Like I can't wait to get back and hang out with people and chill and shit. Take this pack off and not look at it for a couple months. But like. Now I'm just like, if I go there, what am I going to do? Like, I just feel like I would just be chilling at camp, freaking bored. Not to mention that freaking old dude fucking took my solar panel. So like, I have no way of playing on my phone or my Switch anymore besides like my little backpacker panel, but I don't have a battery because he used my panel. It was supposed to be storing my stuff, and then he used it for somebody else, for something else. And yeah, freaking not the panel you gave me, bud. Uh, the one that Mac gave me a while back. You should definitely check out the hot springs, though. It's amazing. I love going there. Freaking, and it's one of the deepest hot springs around, so you can actually dive and like it's like 12 to 17 feet, fluctuating at the point. It's actually kind of like sadly because of like it's spreading out. There's not as much, so it's probably closer to like 12 to 15 feet now. It's not nearly as deep as it used to be. But it's still pretty warm. It's a nice place to go on the colder days. I love going there in the mornings, like when I have a bike that I can use, like, or a ride there. Like, it's great to go chill there, especially if I have a ride. Like, that's been something I've been wanting for a minute in Slab, is get like some like generic golf cart thing that runs on gas. Pretty much just a generic golf cart, I mean, and yeah, like, throw some gas in that little fucker, and I could ride over the handlebar real quick. I could ride up to the freaking hot springs in the morning, and it wouldn't seem like such a task, because walking there, like, it's like a 45 minute walk. And then if you're going in the morning and you're trying to get there and soak before the sun comes up, you pretty much have to be awake at like 4:30, 5 o'clock and take off walking, because by 6:15, 6:20, the sun's already coming up. It's so flat out there. Kind of lame. Only one person in the chat. Oh, you're still here, Keisha. It fluctuates. Like, I can't ever tell how many people's in the chat. It shows me one person, even though there's 2 people in here. But yeah, that'd be dope, Keisha. I'm currently out here hanging out in Escondido. I'm gonna be heading south tomorrow towards well, I'm gonna go to the beach and go south. It's what I want to do. Go to Oceanside and just start going south. No, my actual panel. Like, I have an actual like panel that like set up to a battery and all that. And I left it at somebody's place to watch it, and their boyfriend thing freaking used it for something at their spot. And like he offered to give me another one and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, maybe next time when I go back through. And then, like, me and him got into a big argument, and I haven't been through there in a while because, like, he's like, I mean, in a nutshell, he was super entitled, and he freaking kept on trying to act like her spot was his spot, and freaking, I pay the bills here, rah, rah, rah. She doesn't do anything, and, like, to the point of, like, I almost, like, freaked out on dude and started cussing him out because he was fucking being so fucking, like, such a control freak schmuck. And it's like, dude, like, I'm not here to be yelled at. I'm here to hang out with my friend. Like, if you're gonna be a dick, I'm just gonna leave. And he starts screaming at me, and like, I didn't freaking save it. I actually deleted it because it felt petty. But I just started recording him because I was like, dude, like, I'm gonna show this to you when you're freaking calm down. And he's all screaming and like screaming, rah, 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 and saying all this crazy crap. And I almost showed it to her, but I was like, you know what? It's not worth freaking causing issues in their relationship just because he's being a control freak asshole. But like now it's not worth my time. Like I don't want to fucking go out there and complain. Like still got some stuff stored there, like some random bits and whatnot. But it wouldn't be worth going out there and trying to get my panel or anything because one, I'd have to get a ride all the way out there and back, and two, like I'm not trying to deal with his BS. Like we already almost came to fucking blows last time because he was trying to be so aggro and freaking screaming and yelling and shit. Like I don't care enough about the entitlement bullshit. And I'm definitely not going to take you serious when you're screaming and yelling and being entitled about somebody else's shit. It's like, it's not even your spot. You know what I mean? This ex-slabber, I'm not trying to put anybody on blast by saying who it was, but like, I wasn't the only person he's been aggro with. He was definitely aggro and caused a lot of issues at the camp that he was at when he was there. And he was there for like a year and a half, 2 years. He was one of the old skate park kids, and he was aggro. And he was always trying to act like he wasn't, but would like insert himself in any sort of aggro situation, and was just always he was always pissed off, always being a dick. There was always somebody mad at him. Like, it's not worth my time. Like, it sucks to lose that solar panel. It was really great having the thing. Like, I was able to freaking plug my shit in and freaking leave for a good part of the day and come back, and all my stuff was powered up. Or I could play my Switch or my phone right off of it, and it would stay charged all day long. But like, it was just a generic 50-watt panel and a freaking shitty old car battery that like didn't really keep charge. Like, it would charge up like during the day with the panel on it, but it wouldn't hold a charge. Like, the thing was old as hell. Like, it was just some piece of junk freaking car battery. So it is what it is. But it's just like one of those things that it made being in camp in slabs livable. And last season when I went there, because I didn't have it, like, that's why I went to the handlebar. Like, I was hanging out at the handlebar the whole time. Like, almost every day. Wake up in the morning, drink some coffee, and then go hang out at the handlebar all day. It's like, now that there's no handlebar, it's like, I'd love to go hang out in slabs, but like, where do I go? I'm going to go hang out over by the pirate camp? Like, I love the fucking pirates, but they're so close to Camp Dunlap that, like, they're not tweakery and causing issues, but they get a lot of the tweakery bullshit over there, and like, I don't want to fucking be over there and not feel secure, you know? Like, I don't like having to like worry about my stuff walking off because somebody walked into the bar when I wasn't paying attention, you know? And that sucks in itself. Like, I don't like the fact that I don't feel like, I don't know, like, it just sucks that there's like, there used to be a big community out there, and now it just feels like it's just a bunch of random people, and nobody's really, like, all the cool, like, kids that have been going out there for years just aren't. And, like, I don't know what to do. Like, part of me wants to go there, other part of me is like, but is it worth it? Like, I could freaking go into slabs, and, like, I've been thinking about it because, like, supposedly there's going to be some kids that I haven't seen coming through there in a while. Like my buddy Kai. Freaking, we've talked about meeting up and doing some D&D. That'd be really cool. Like, do a whole like D&D campaign out there in the slabs. Freaking, we did a couple years ago, at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was with some of the kids that were there. But like, they were inconsistent as far as like showing up, and it was hard to get the schedule around a lot of the kids. It was just like at this random camp, and like, I don't know, it just seemed like we could have like had a better group if it wasn't like specifically at their spot, because a lot of people didn't feel comfortable. So it'd be cool to like set up some like local like safe space, you know, like some spot where like everybody can come hang out and we can do shit like that. So like that would be cool, but it would be like something where like we'd have to put forth a lot of effort, and like me, Kai, and a bunch of people would have to put a lot forth effort. I'm not trying to spend multiple days, a week, whatever, trying to build a spot. Skate park can be that spot again, but it's the whole fact of like there's nothing there. You'd have to clear the place out, and rebuild it, and deal with all the people that would show up and try to be assholes about it. We didn't like this when it was here last time. Rah, rah, rah. Apparently that's been happening already. Like people trying to freaking take care of it, clean it up, and people trying to tell them that like you can't be there anymore. It's gone. We don't want to rebuild. Blardy blardy blardy. So it's like that'd be the big thing is like I'd have to wait until the big chunk of people were there. So like they didn't feel like comfortable with just trying to run me off. It'd be a whole group of us. But like, do I really want to invest that much time into the skate park again? You know. There's a concrete slab, which is a lot for that place. It's a stable platform built. Oh no, yeah, for sure. Which is why it came originally. Like, there's been multiple people that have lived there over the years. That was just the first time that it was like an actual like community space. And like, before that, there was the internet cafe. Like everybody hung out over there. But then like, freaking, the old man who used to live over by that cafe, who used to run it, like, or whose money used to pay for it, passed away, and then all of a sudden they couldn't afford good internet, and they were using beam speed, and then freaking internet Rob was just tired of it and gave it to somebody else, and it got given to somebody else by that person, and then the pirates took it over, and then the pirates left, and like. Then freaking the whole legal thing went with weed here, and freaking let's mention the weed thing with Cali. Everything went legal on the recreational on the West Coast, and that kind of killed it too. Like because a good chunk of the money that was coming from the pirates to pay for freaking the internet was coming from people freaking slinging weed from the grows. They go up and work on the grow, and then they come down and freaking have extra cash in their pocket, and they'd be able to get donations and throw money at it to freaking get more freaking, get another month of internet. But now with that gone and everything being freaking 100%, federal run now, it's all recreational, it's all freaking a job. There's no longer a lot of kids showing up with a bunch of weed to sell off, give away, and make money with. It's all W-2s and freaking taxed and stuff. They give you a check. And so that like flow of cash is dead. And we've had a lot of, the other half is like, we've had a lot of like BS in the past couple of years. Like the fact that like, so allegedly, and I guess is the proper term for it, allegedly somebody called the cops on freaking, the rabbit hole across from the handlebar and tried to freaking get them down as like a business because supposedly somebody was saying that they were selling liquor versus giving away and taking donations, which like the whole thing is all donated. That's what the original thought for the handler came from was, hey, if we can buy a 30 rack for like $12, and if we can make $12 off of this 30 pack somehow, like in donations, 50 cents here, 50 cents there, $1 there, we can buy another one, and everyone can keep drinking. Same thing with the dabs. We were getting dabs hella cheap from somebody who was freaking making it, and then we were buying it, and then we're buying it, and then selling it for $1. Like, a lot of the time, like, that money was, like, they weren't making cash. They were making just enough to make the money back to buy another batch of dabs. Like, the business part I already figured out. First, reseller's permit shouldn't cost anything, so someone would be living there, could be sent to El Centro to get the permit. Yeah, I feel that. But my thought process when it comes to stuff like that is like, that person, you'd have to at least get two people almost that live there. Because if that person isn't there, the permit, because the handlebar is not an official space, I think like the big issue is you wouldn't actually be able to get a permit to for the handlebar. It would be for the person. And if like, let's say it was me, like, or Kai, me or Kai would have to be there for everyone to be safe. Otherwise, like, yeah, sure, I have a resale permit, but I went into town for a town run, or I'm at somebody else's camp hanging out. Next thing you know, the cops show up, and freaking, I'm not there to show my permit. And it's like, well, yeah. And they're like, well, we got a permit. No, so-and-so has a permit. Y'all don't. And I'm like, that was a big thing, like, apparently, like, I don't remember who went to look into it, but, like, that's what they found out, like, that they were having issues with when looking into it, was the fact that, like, yeah, it'd be great to have one of those resale permits to freaking, then, yeah, you could buy beers and freaking sling them, and then you wouldn't have to worry about BS. But, like, well, that's what I'm saying, Joyce. That was the whole thing, was that's who they were, Easy Fix volunteers. That was the thing. That's who Slabs was. That's what the skate park was a bunch of people volunteering a couple hours here or there and freaking taking donations towards re-upping on beers and sodas. And we would freaking take donations of food stamps, and people would go into town and buy food, and it'd get cooked up and freaking passed out to people. The same thing with the whole with the rabbit hole. That was the whole thing. It's like nobody was selling booze, nobody was an employee. People were freaking supposed to be volunteers, and we were supposed to be accepting donations and taking care of people. But I think one of the things was like, you get a lot of kids out there that like are still somewhat Babylonian, and so like they get weirdly entitled, and they start like calling it a job. Like, I work at the handlebar, blardy blardy blard. And that was supposedly, allegedly, what one of like the big thing that like besides that, and then like was the fact that it was like, well, if it's supposed to be a volunteer thing, what do you mean you have jobs there? What do you mean you have employees and workers? And like, and it's just such a clusterfuck trying to fucking appease the bullshit. That's why a lot of them, they don't last very long. A lot of people like that, like, as far as like an actual spot out there, doesn't last very long because they have issues. Like, the Ponderosa is really cool. They have a lot of chill stuff, but like they have been talking about leaving. Like, they don't necessarily want to be there anymore either. Shannon's been there for forever. The kids have pretty much grown up there, and like Casey and Tim are like older now. Like, Tim's 16, about to be 17. Freaking, he doesn't want to be in Slabs anymore. And like, if they leave, that's a whole other thing. Like, hopefully it gets taken over by somebody cool. But like, that's like another place that may not be very soon, you know? And it's like, that's the big thing, I guess, for me, is like, I go to Slabs not for the spot to be and sleep, but for the community. Like, I go there to hang out with people and be around like nomads in a spot where we can just be without having to worry about BS from society and people being haters and being like, you can't be here. Like, you can go to freaking Ocean Beach and there's always a bunch of nomads there. But like, it's a weird competitive dog eat dog mentality, and like, so like, there's not the whole camaraderie, there's not the community. It feels more like just a bunch of dirty kids or street kids who can only be in one space, aka Ocean Beach, without being harassed. I was like, I don't want to be just in a spot. Like, I'm not a fan of Ocean Beach's BS, you know? Like, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Joyce. The wrong words to a plainclothes officer. That's what I'm saying. From what I heard, it was like, yeah, there's a lot of that. It was like somebody being like, yeah, I'm an employee, I work here. Or do you want to buy a beer? Instead of beer, sodas, and dabs, dollar donations. But yeah, like you get people that they're like they get the entitled thing, or they're trying to call themselves an employee, or the whole like Babylon thing gets in where they can't like, and they like sell someone a beer instead of freaking volunteering and freaking uh, doing donations. And yeah, that's where that shit comes from. Next thing you know, freaking you say that to the wrong person who's an undercover or freaking, or just some Karen slash Kent, Kyle, whatever you want to call the male version of Karen, who hears about it and just wants to be a hater. Yeah, private clubs are cool, but the thing that sucks with private clubs is like nobody owns any land in Slabs, so the only way you can have a private club is like over there at freaking uh, the wow, brain fart, East Jesus, because they actually own their land. They bought it from the California Teachers Association. Like, they own their land, and so they can have a private club and freaking have gates and shit. But like past that, like you can't really do anything, and that's the thing that's like, and that becomes really reclusive too. Like the whole thing about Slabs is welcoming in anybody and everybody can walk up and see what's up. It's lame that you'd have to freaking try to filter like people that can come in and out, and like just so people can come hang out. Like you don't need gates or property to have a private club. I mean, I guess like you could just put up a sign that says private camp, and people in the know could know that they could show up and hang out. But like, I mean, yeah, maybe. But like, where's the line? Like, stopping some like officer or Karen or whatever to walking up and doing the thing anyways. As simple as you and your friends start a private D&D club, have a membership and meetings, and sell things to members. Yeah. I've thought about that. And that way you know who is and isn't a member. Which is totally a thing, but that once again comes down to it has to be both me or Kai has to be there. Like a camp person has to be there at all times to make sure. Because like we can't have volunteers stand nearby that unless people know exactly who is and isn't, and then like I don't want to feel exclusive. Like that's the whole thing about D&D. Like is about like meeting new people and freaking bring them into this weird universe that is the D&D world. Like I'm out of water again. Like yeah, that'd be cool. I've been talking about it for a minute. And yeah, like I said, Kai's coming back through supposedly this year. I was talking to him about a week ago. Freaking. Yeah, I feel you. Joyce. Just have the right to be able to tell certain people, I guess, that they couldn't be there. But even then, that still feels weird. That your event, it just means that your events and affairs are private. Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'd be down. Like it'd just be putting forth the effort. You know, like the big part of it is like, yeah, I'm a broke ass, so like I'd want to set up a GoFundMe and to get people to throw cash towards the lumber and shit so we could have an actual structure. I'm not trying to have like people just sitting there on the ground, you know, like I'd want to freaking like at the very least like 3 walls and a roof, or even 4 walls and like a way to like open up like windows or whatever, have like cut in windows, like just like where you can just move the board up and down, kind of like at the Oasis Club. Just make every resident and seasonal slabber a member, and then vet the tourists as they come. Profiling the police also helps. Yeah, I feel you. It's a real thing. Like, and like I said, it's doable. It's just a lot of effort, and like, It's one of those things where like you have to be on top of it, because if you're not the one making sure that everything's running smoothly, it's gonna fall to the wayside. Like, and that sucks. Like, if we can get a core group of kids, for sure. Like, I'd be so down. But like, I don't want to put forth the effort and not have anything to show for it, you know? Like, that's a big thing when it comes to like slabs and to D&D groups and shit like that out there. Is like, it's all about like build it, claim it, own it. But then you also got to like work. You also got to like watch out for like, where do you build it? Because unless it's in a spot where like it's watched year round and safe, like at like over at Dark Side or by the internet cafe over there, which would be taken over. And that's the thing, is like, it'd be, that's the other half, is like, I'm not going to be there year round. And like, I don't want to put forth effort into something and get destroyed. And like, it almost feels like to do it, I'd have to like bite the bullet and just accept that as part of the thing. Like, if we build a thing out there, when we leave for the summer, there's a 90% chance that it's going to get scrapped. That was the great thing about the handlebar, was the fact that it had enough respect for it and enough love and community space that when people would leave for the summer, come back, it'd still be there. It wasn't scrapped and turned into something else. And that's a big thing with me, is like, I'd love to put forth the effort if I could guarantee a spot that it would be safe, that I could come back to it next year and it would still be there, that it wouldn't be taken over and turned into some tweaker's hut, like my trailer when I was living over by the rabbits. I was on their property, like in their area, and they still woke up one morning to some crazy tweaker in the trailer and causing them issues. Yeah, for sure. If the bar is a problem, fine, no bar. But structures, yeah, for sure. And like I said, when it comes down to that, it comes down to like getting a core group of people, and then setting up some sort of GoFundMe or whatnot online to put forth the money to build the place. And then like we could do like multiple times a week. We could do like Tuesday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Saturday D&Ds, Friday Night Magic. I always thought that would be really cool to do a Friday Night Magic thing again. We had one for a while back at this kid Gray in Shauna's place, him and his lady, and they do Friday Night Magic. We'd show up over there and they'd have like a little like prize thing. It'd be like first, second, third place, and it'd be like a booster pack or for each of third and second, and then like the 3 booster pack thing, and like a sleeve of like, like the little mini candies. And like that was great. We had so many kids come through. Like, that was a really consistent thing. And like, that's what it comes down to, is it's just putting forth a lot of the effort. And as a broke nomad, like, it'd be definitely something that like I would need help with. Like, I can't afford to freaking buy lumber and all that shit. But yeah, if it was doable, for sure. Because like, we need a spot where people can feel comfortable to hang out and not feel like it's not a welcome space. And like, that's what I loved about the handlebar, was the fact that like it felt like a welcome space. It felt like it didn't matter who you were, as long as you were chill and weren't causing issues, you could be there. Like Ponyboy has a lot of drama with a lot of people in slabs, and he got told he had to leave the handlebar multiple times. Don't get it twisted, but after a week or so, they would give the dude another shot. It was one of the safe, like, places where he felt safe, where he felt home. And like I guess like if I went out to Slabs, that's what I would be trying to do, is set up another community space that isn't just about getting drunk and smelling like freaking, as the one chick said when she walked into the bar, smells like boot rot and the shakes. Hey, special ed. We're talking about we're sitting here talking about well, me and Joyce are. Everybody else is just listening, I assume. But we're talking about how the handlebar's gone at the skate park, and trying to figure out like some way to like set up some new structure there, maybe even setting up a GoFundMe to get some money for lumber and supplies, and then building a new thing, not necessarily a bar again, but just like a chill spot where people can come and play Magic and D&D, and it's not like at someone's specific camp where they don't feel welcome. Because like there's cosplays Magic up there, but like that's Cause's space. Like we can't just. It's not like a spot where like we're at the internet cafe where we could just show up at the Magic Tree and start hanging out. Like we need a spot like that too. That's the other part of it. Like if I built the handlebar, built a structure at the skate park, that wouldn't be my structure. It would be like a D&D, like it would have to be like I'd have to live behind it, like, but it would be like live behind it like that's what made the handlebar so great, is like if you weren't a handlebar member who lived there, you couldn't go behind the freaking bar into the back area unless invited, but anybody could be in the handlebar damn near any time of the day. Just at night we would lock the beer, they would lock the beers and booze up and whatnot. That's one of the things why I want like some piece of junk car, like that I could just lock up and live in out there, and I wouldn't have to worry about like setting up my own spot, and I could throw all the rest of my effort at like building a little chill room, Right. It'd be cool to do it at Cause's or the Dark Side, I don't know, but like then it would be Cause's place when I left, because you're building for me. Or at the Dark Side, leave it there and be promised by everybody on the sun that's there that it would be okay when I came back. But that doesn't stop whoever's there over the summer or whoever takes it over from just tearing it apart, using it for something else. Oh yeah, something will work out. It'll be easy to be or it won't be, Hanging out with the dad. He turned 80 this week. That's pretty cool. Like, I guess that's pretty high up there, huh? 80 years old. Like, I think my grandpa's 80. Freaking, my parents are still pretty young. Or my adopted foster adoption agency people. Like, they were born in 64 and 62. Or 64 and 66, I mean. They're 2 years apart. My dad's the older one. But I don't talk to my family because they're all ignorant East Coasters when it comes to anything on the road. They think anybody on the road is crazy. They don't know the difference between meth, heroin, and weed. So like I say I smoke pot, and they like scared I'm some junkie under a bridge who if I stop by I'm gonna rob them or whatever. It's not worth my time. But it'd be cool. I'd love to go hang out with some family if they weren't schmucks. No. Kind of jealous. You were born in 64? Heck yeah. Yeah, my dad was born, or like I said, my adopted foster care agency guardian was born, New Year's Day, So, January 1st, 1964. There are two people in slabs you could trust with something like this. I mean, that's the thing, dude, is like, the only person I really know consistently that stays in slabs is Kaz. And Kaz's whole thing is like, if you build it on my property, it's mine. Like, that's what happened with fucking, the one dude structure at the bottom of the hill, Shiny. That's what happened with Kid Sean's structure out there in the bush that I was living in a few years ago. Yet inside the eco village, it's Kaz's. Same thing with the freaking with the Dark Side. It's like, if we build it inside there, it's part of Dark Side. And if some new person takes over Dark Side, they freaking scrap it, sell it, freaking whatever. Like, that's what happened to my blue van at Dark Side. Like, that van was mine. And I had it stored there, told people that they could freaking live in it and whatnot, and the next thing I know, freaking Daniel goes on a selling rampage and sells my van to somebody, sells all the trailers, hauls it all off, all down to the last thing. And now Darkside's gone. Like, the fences are still there, but all the structures and couches and everything's been hauled off. Like, I've been told by people that are staying there right now that, like, I really don't want to know what it looks like. I'd be sad, to quote Alaska, if I knew what it looked like. And that's the whole thing, is like, if we had a cool enough group, yeah, I'd be down as fuck. But that's the main issue, is all the people that were core people don't want to go back to slabs anymore. Dan Trouble Floyd, he was a year-rounder, or most of the time, that would watch this handlebar. Not there anymore, doesn't want to go back anymore. Frodo, he doesn't want to go back anymore. Like, that's the big thing, is like, when it comes to something like that in slabs, and why they've been so few and far between, is like, how much effort do you want to put into something that may or may not be there when you get back? Well, because it was shiesty last year, dude. I didn't feel comfortable. I was there for like a week and a half-ish around Halloween, and then I left. And I was there for a week and a half-ish around Christmas, and then I left. I'm usually there multiple months in a row. I wasn't even there a total of a month. It didn't feel like home. The best part was the handlebar. It's like, that's why I keep talking about it. It's like, it feels like that'd be the only option. If like I went back to slabs, I'd have to freaking show up with freaking GoFundMe money in pocket to build a new thing. Because like, otherwise it's like, what am I doing but sitting at camp by myself with no money? At least on the road I'm by myself, but like, I have money to buy food and weed and shit. I spend half my time in freaking slabs eating a pack of Knorr noodle sides a day, maybe some chicken thrown in there or tuna if I have the extra cash for it. And like, sitting in camp playing on my Switch because there's nothing else to do. Waiting for the handlebar people to open up. And even then, going over there, I can only be over there for so long because, like, love those kids, but like alcohol, you know? Like, that's why I never felt really comfortable in any of the, quote, volunteer bars. Because I'm not a big drinker. Like, I don't want to deal with like alcoholic bullshit and drama. It's not worth my time. But it could be cool to set up a new campaign, D&D thing. I've been looking into talking to Kai. He's got pretty much every D&D source book and all that shit downloaded on a PDF to his laptop. He said when we meet up, we could freaking download it to my phone. Thought it'd be really cool, like, do a couple one-shots maybe, as well as like an actual campaign that people could like be a part of consistently, but also do like weird one-shots where like people, they don't necessarily want to commit to a campaign or have never really played it before, don't know what's going on, they can show up and choose from one of the pre-built character sheets for like a one shot. There's a ton of one shots. I just saw one the other day, literally yesterday, about was Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but like a full-on D&D source book and package that you could get like with all the different like all sorts of different races and classes and shit, and you essentially play through the Monty Python and the Holy Grail campaign and go quest for the Holy Grail, but in that universe. Just weird shit like that. Like we did a Halloween one last year that was really cool. Oh, I need weed. Speaking of which, any of you people in that are hanging out, if you want to show love towards the stream, my PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App are in the description of the stream. Feel free to throw a couple bucks, help sponsor a joint, or my bus ride over there. It's $6 to the dispensary and back. $6 there, $6 back. It's like an hour and a half ride. And that's the big thing right now is I have like 14, 15 bucks. I'd have the money to get there, but I wouldn't have the money to buy get there and back, but I wouldn't have any money to buy weed. They don't sell dollar grams at dispensaries. And if I'm going to ride the bus for 3 hours damn near there and back, like I definitely, or longer because like bus link ups, like it could take upwards of 4 hours like, waiting for the bus again. Freaking, I don't want to go over there for just a gram, you know? Or like like I'd want like a couple like a $5 pre-roll, a couple $5 pre-rolls, or like an eighth would be nice. I was like, I am plumb out of weed right now. Sobriety is what it is, but like it can be kind of lame. It's lame that like spots like here, like Escondido, or like there's no dispensaries. They have a ordering system where you can like have shit delivered to your house, but they have all these crazy fees and shit on top of that. So if you're not a rich person, it's not worth it. Like I don't have the freaking cash to freaking pay a $30 delivery fees and all that crap. You're almost out too? Yep, yep. See, I prefer a dab cart. It's simple, it's easy. All I gotta do is make sure my mod is charged, and it's incognito on the road. Like I can get in and out of the freaking. I can get in on and off of a bus real quick without smelling like weed. I can step behind step into an alley real quick or whatever around the out of sight of mine behind a bush and take a couple hits real quick, and nobody's the wiser. I hold it right and I just take a big rip off of it, and as long as it's like super fruity, like a sugary, fruity smelling one, nobody's the wiser. They just assume I'm vaping. But weed, even the super fruity stuff, is still weed. And like you can smell that shit down the block, especially if it's good weed. And the next thing I know, I'm dealing with Karens calling the cops because it's whether or not it's legal to smoke weed and possess it. It's still not legal to smoke weed in public. So you have to like constantly do it incognito. And you got a lot of places that like they complain about it. It's just nice to be able to have the dab card. It's really convenient. But yeah, also don't get it twisted. I smoke pot. Like I said, right now, I want some weed money. I'm actually going to try to go do some day labor after the stream and see if I can't scrape up some cash so I can freaking go buy some pot because I can't afford a cart. Like there used to be really cheap carts at the dispensary. It's like $22 for a freaking. It's called Big Chief. Yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, like Big Chief, and it was like they had wooden tips and they were freaking super cheap. But like I don't know if the company itself stopped, but I know for a fact Hello Cannabis doesn't sell them anymore. Because last time I came through here, freaking I stopped there and they said that they didn't have them. The next cheapest cart was like $31.85 after taxes for a gram or more. Like some of them were like $60 for a gram. I'm like, that's not worth my money. I smoke too much to do that. Slash, I'm too poor for that. As a broke nomad, like I can't buy a $60 cart. I mean, it'd be cool, but I can't. That's the same thing with around here. It's like if you have money, exactly. Raw gardens, any of them. Like there are a lot of them are just so freaking crazy pricey. And like I said, there's stuff around here, but it has to be delivered, and delivery is like crazy pennies to get that shit down. Like I said, that's my main issue right now. It's like I don't have the like, I don't have the cash to freaking pay like $30 for delivery. Hi, Cast and Blast. Congratulations on being a jar of mustard. Silly human shape. Freaking. Are you like somebody who did way too much acid? And like that guy in the park who thinks he's a glass of orange juice? Did you do a bunch of PCP and lose your brain? Cast and Blast. Well, you know, jars of mustards can totally hit like buttons. If you can type you're a jar of mustard, you can hit the like button. There's 4 people in here, but only 3 likes. Just saying. Wink, wink, cough, cough. Press the like button. Go on your PayPal and send the stream $1. Type fuck you. Like, just interact. Anything really works. Even throw the freaking dislike. Dislike button works too. Algorithm loves the dislike button. Hell yeah, another like. Doing it right. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. Is it's like you're like, it's not worth freaking. I have like enough change to get there back and $5. So like I could get like a $5 joint. It's like a half a gram joint, maybe a full gram if I'm lucky. That I would then roll out into my pipe because like I'm not about to smoke a whole joint at myself in one go. But is a $5 joint like really worth 3 hours on the bus, you know? Sorry, gotta fix this. Do not disturb. There we go. No, it's definitely not true. It's like, and that's the thing, is like, and then I would be flat broke, and I wouldn't have the cash for freaking to catch the bus / train from here back to the coast so I can continue walking / hitchhiking. Like, it's $2.50 for the bus from here to the transit center, and then it's $1.50 from the transit center on the Sprinter to Oceanside. or $1.25. Either $3.75 or $4. Freaking just to get to the coast. So like, I could do that, but then I would be broke and I would be walking to the coast. And walking from Escondido to Oceanside is foobar. That is such a long walk. It can take multiple days to get out there, or one like hour and a half freaking sprinter ride. And I'm not trying to walk through that crazy industrial valley. Well, shit. We're past the hour mark. Hour and 11 minutes. Freaking thank you guys for coming through and showing the stream some love. Feel free to tell people about the channel. Go check out some of my other videos. I just did one recently where me and Joyce went to the LA Zoo and Safari. Well, LA Zoo and Safari. The abandoned Los Angeles Zoo. I'm awake. Freaking. Feel free to go check that out. And if you want to show some love, sponsor a join or whatever, or bust money to get there and back, my PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App are in the description. And I'll talk at you guys later. May do another stream this weekend, but for now, I'm going to head out. Like, share, subscribe, and all that whatnots. Thank you so much. Bye.